in radio, they do these things called air checks, which is you do a air shift, and then you take the cassette from whatever that 2 or 3 hour shift was, and then you go into the program director's office. And all the program directors have a nice spanking new cassette deck in their office, and then they put it in, and you painfully go over each detail of the show, which is you do the first 30 seconds, and then they stop the tape, and they critique the 30, and then they let it run maybe through the first call, and then they stop, and you realize how bad you are, and that's why I never do that.
I understand.
And I know that this could be a better show, I could be a better host, and Drew could be a better host as well if we ever sat down and listened to those things, but it is so goddamn painful that I won't subject myself or my ego to it.
And the program director is delighted about that.
Thankfully, he doesn't care that much. All right, so let's talk about Alyson. First off, as you know, Buffy the Vampire Slayer doing real well. Probably one of the most successful shows WB currently has going.
That with Dawson's Creek.
Oh yeah, but this was around before Dawson's Creek,
yeah.
and it'll be around after Dawson's Creek. Too.
Yeah.
And what's Buffy going on? The 3rd season?
Yes.
And have you been on since the word go over there?
Not since the word go, but since the show was picked up. The pilot presentation I wasn't actually in.
Right.
There's another one.
All right, well, let the amateurs get it on the air, and then you come in and mop up.
Exactly.
And also, Dead Man on Campus, which is a movie that is going to be released
sometime.
But you just finished it, right?
No, it's been done for about a year. Or the actual filming.
I was looking at this bio, and I think the bio was saying that it was going to be released at the end of this month.
That's what I heard, about a month ago, and then I heard on the internet that it's going to be released in August.
Yeah, Yeah, we've been there. So tell the premise of that, and I want to see if this sounds familiar to Drew, because I think we had this conversation with other people from Dead Man on Campus.
Right. It sounds familiar already, just the name.
All right. Well, tell Drew the scenario.
Okay. Well, it stars Mark Paul Gosselaar. I can't really pronounce that last name. And Tom Everett Scott. And it's basically about these two roommates in college, and they sort of let their studies fall and find a loophole in the college rule book saying that if their roommate died during the semester, then they get straight A's in their classes. So they try to find suicidal kids on campus and transfer them into their room and not
let them go.
Well, they don't discourage them from doing.
You know what? It was Mark Paul before the thing was filmed.
Right.
He was on talking about what he was going to do.
Right. Yeah. And I said that sounds like a ridiculous premise.
No, I thought you said it was.
I did. I went with it.
You went with it, yeah.
What was I thinking?
Well, everyone always
is that
about Kill Gallagher.
Is that true?
Is that what true?
True. You went to college.
Is what true?
The loophole.
The premise, you idiot.
Of course, everyone knows that.
Oh, shut up. It is not.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Is it? No. Okay, well, what the hell do I know? I went to junior college off and on for 11 years.
Wow, it's just, certainly that fact is shining through right now.
And by the way, I'm sorry if I'm blowing, I ate a whole bunch of raw garlic tonight, so I may be blowing that around the studio.
I'm not aware of it yet.
No? Alyson,
I have some mints if you'd like.
Do you have any?
Alyson obviously is aware.
Yeah, go grab them. Yeah, I'll take those.
My friend has them.
Oh, they're outside the studio?
Yeah.
That's all right. We don't need
They're very strong.
You normally have a certain
je ne sais quoi?
Bouquet.
Thank you. Well, all right.
Well, I would plop them in.
All right, so Buffy's going great. And are you on hiatus now?
Until next week, yes.
And does everyone sort of make their own schedule now? I mean, all the different networks. Didn't it used to be that, people were all off at the same time and then went back to work at the same time?
The hiatus was in the summer.
I think it's still the same. I think film shows start earlier than sitcoms.
Ah, I see. Filmed, like, when you do, thank you.
They're very good.
When you do, all right, settle, baby. When you do Buffy, you have to film that all week.
Yes, 5 days a week.
Like you're doing a little movie, as opposed to rehearse all week and do it once in front of a live audience.
Right.
Which they then sweeten up dramatically.
Our hours are much longer on film.
What is a normal schedule for you?
It would be 5 days a week, pretty much 15-hour days.
For you?
Yes.
That sucks.
Well, I mean, I get occasional days off, but like Sarah Gellar, who is Buffy, she pretty much doesn't. So, actually, that's not true. They pretty much stopped us at 14 hours last season. So once we hit 14 hours,
Are you
we gotta
working
go
the
home.
entire 14 hours?
Oh no! It's
How much you work?
Oh, no, they're doing coke in the trailer and playing Miss Pac-Man. Are you kidding me?
No. But,
Oh, yes.
But we do, at least 10 pages a day, as opposed to a film that does a page or two.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
So it must be nice to do a film.
I don't know. I feel like hurry up.
Yeah.
Because I'm so used to getting so much more accomplished.
That's how Drew and I are, even from TV to TV, because when we do Loveline, we do 4 episodes sometimes, 4-hour-long episodes in a long afternoon. I mean, literally, to do 4 1-hour episodes, it takes us about 6.5 hours, and that's with lunch and the hookers and everything. And we went and did this sitcom once, although we killed the sitcom. If you ever want to get out of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you invite us on. We will kill the show.
Oh, no.
What shows did we kill? We killed Vibe?
Vibe?
Oh, no, wait a minute.
Keenan?
No, we killed Keenan.
Well, Vibe, we were asked to come on the night it got canceled, remember?
We put the nail. We put the
Vibe.
symbolic nail in Vibe, but we got rid of Keenan by doing 4 appearances on that show. Vibe, we did Vibe, and then we were going to do it, but
The night it got canceled.
when it was over.
Yeah.
And then All Fired Up?
Fired Up.
No, is it called Fired Up?
Fired Up.
Okay, I always want to say Just Shoot Me, but that's actually doing okay. Fired Up was a sitcom that we did that our episode never aired.
Oh.
Yeah, so we put that one away, too.
Well, please don't go on the Rosie O'Donnell show then.
No, you enjoy her?
I love her.
We'll never go on. The catch-22 is we'll never go on shows that are doing well.
Oh, okay.
You see?
Okay.
We have to get to them early before they have any success, or at the end when they're petering out.
Okay.
Yeah, the magic people should be calling soon and mentioned. Oh, yes. Sure. They're probably phoning right now. Probably got the answering machine. All right, Sarah? Sarah.
Hello.
Hey, you're 18.
Hi, Adam. Hi, Dr. Drew.
Hey there.
Say hi to Allison, too.
Hi, Allison.
Hi.
I have a problem. A couple months ago, there was a party over my brother's, and I don't spend that much time with my brother, so I was looking forward to this. And he lives about 20 minutes away, so I hardly see him. So me and a couple.
How old is he?
Excuse me?
How old is he?
He's 28. So we didn't really spend much time together as we were growing up. So
Why is that?
He's 10 years older.
Wait a minute.
Excuse me?
Why?
Well, I don't know. Just we were distant.
You and he were distant. You were living in the same household, but you just...
No, we lived in separate households.
Why?
Well, we have different mothers, and as we were growing up, our father was in jail for most of my life, and
So he wasn't part of your life at all, your brother. Your half-brother.
yeah, half
It's a
brother.
half-brother who you never knew.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I used to spend some time
Okay.
with him, but
All right.
not really.
All right.
Kind of funny how our callers couch their questions.
They leave all that out. I knew
We
they
grew up, we were real tight growing up. Yeah.
lived in different states with different parents.
Yeah, Dad was in jail and he had different moms.
All right,
Okay,
so
sir.
what's the deal?
Okay, well, so I went down to his house, and because he was having a party, so we were both kind of drunk. Well, I was really drunk, which he wasn't. And he asked me to come back to his room so he could talk to me. And so I went back there, and he said that he needed to tell me something. And I was like, okay, go ahead. And he was like, no. I was like, go ahead, you can tell me anything. And he said, well, I've been in love with you for a while.
That's healthy. I'm going to drop that bomb on my sister when she gets in from Germany in a couple of months.
But because I don't know, I've been hanging out with him for for about 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot. So he told me that, and I didn't know what to say.
Toodaloo. Yeah, I mean, don't hang out with him anymore.
Do you like him, Sarah?
No.
What happened to him growing up? Did Dad do something to him?
No.
Criminal dad?
Thanks.
Well,
All right, let's take some guesses as to why Dad's in prison.
parole violation.
Mail fraud.
Yeah.
No.
Tax evasion, yeah.
Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, some involving the RICO Act, perhaps? Some sort of racketeering scheme?
It kind of involves him and his girlfriend robbed a bank.
Oh, we're all off. We went white collar. That was a problem.
But I bet he didn't claim it on his taxes.
But the temerity that I might have insinuated that he could have done something heinous to the son. Imagine
I don't think so.
So here he is out trying to provide for the family, Drew. How long's he in prison for?
Well, he got out a couple years ago, but he was in there for 9 years.
Uh-huh.
So pretty much all my life.
Did he rob a lot of banks?
No, well, it was just it was just one. I mean,
wow, that's dumb.
The story that I know is that he didn't know about it, which he was he was with his girlfriend, and she supposedly told him that she was going in to get some money out, and he supposedly didn't know about it until she come out and got busted.
All right.
Right, sure. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that. Actually, there was this Tom Selleck movie I saw where he was framed unjustly.
Oh, everyone in jail's been framed.
Right. All right, Sarah, your dad's a criminal. Your brother's the son of a criminal, and that's why he's kind of where he's at. But if I were you, I would stay as far away from that guy's house as possible.
Yeah, it's not.
Really?
Yeah.
And another thing is like the thing that bothers me is he asked me, would I be mad if he tried something on me then?
The answer is, what was your answer?
I said, yeah, I'd be mad at you.
Good.
And then I don't know if I was sick off the alcohol, but I wouldn't throw up.
That's good.
That's a nice way to punctuate that discussion. Yeah.
Okay, Sarah.
Yeah.
You're amazingly healthy.
That's what my mom said. I told her about it.
Yeah,
okay.
But stay away. Don't be dragged back into this.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Yeah. God knows what else this guy's up to, by the way, if he can just go ahead and confront his half-sister sexually.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a sad one.
How dare I suggest that it was Dad's fault?
Oh, she didn't get that defensive about it.
But isn't it interesting how people want to defend their parents no matter how heinous they might be or have been?
Well, you can't blame the guy. His old lady wanted to use the Versateller. Next thing you know, the cops are running out of the place. You're sitting in the car. He's probably driving a minivan, and he was probably, fixing his ascot or something.
Or what people will do.
Using, the little mirror that's in the visor.
That lights up when you open the
Yeah, and she come running out, and before you know it, he's an accomplice.
Yeah. Look, or people will say to themselves or to others, I was bad. I deserved that. That's why my dad treated me that way.
Listen to mostly Mozart on KCRW.
Yeah. Robert.
Yeah.
25. What's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
I was wondering, I'm trying to find out, I heard from a friend that you can get oral herpes just by kissing someone.
Sure.
Yes, you can?
Oh, sure.
That sucks.
Well,
how easily can you get it, and what other sort of
if
hazards?
Somebody has an active lesion, very easy. I mean, it's a very contagious virus.
No kidding. Okay, so if you're kissing someone who has an active lesion, you can get herpes
easily.
Wow.
It's not really something you have to write down, though, Robert. If you see an active lesion on somebody, just go ahead and keep that tongue away.
But by the way, oral herpes is exceedingly common. It's again, you're responding to some notion of herpes being some devastating condition. We're talking about a cold sore, a skin rash. Okay.
Right.
Is this your girlfriend?
Like a fifth of the population has.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. Okay.
Well, can I ask you another question?
Yeah.
I was just wondering, are you a psychiatrist?
No, I'm an internist. But I've been running a department of medicine and addiction medicine in a psychiatric hospital for 10 years.
Ooh.
Gotcha. So you're an internist.
But he's also the love doctor.
He's also the love doctor.
That's the title he likes the most.
And do you do psychotherapy?
No.
No psychotherapy.
No.
Okay.
No. He's a mess, this Drew. Believe me, he'd pay you if you sat down in the room with him for 50 minutes. Oh, yes.
Well, we should set up a time then.
Hey, you gay, Robert?
That's an interesting question, though I'm not.
A little bit, though?
No.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Just got that vibe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right.
Robert.
Enjoy the oral sex.
You're a little tough on me tonight here.
Oh, me?
Yeah. Oh, God. We're gonna spend a lot of time together the next few weeks.
Yeah, I was just explaining that to somebody.
It is going to be just, the humanity.
The only thing that keeps Drew and I away from each other's jugular is that we don't see each other on our current schedule Fridays and Saturdays. Now, we brushed across each other on Saturday because of this MTV to-do, and we're already on each other just a little more because of that sort of booster shot we
Yeah.
gave each other for just socially,
5
just
minutes.
for 15 minutes on a Saturday. But when the schedule gets into full swing, meaning some college tours or
taking
the
it on the
TV
road.
show, and it turns into 7 days a week, and then traveling together.
Oh.
That's when the fights start in the airport. I'm all drugged up on tranquilizers and Bloody Marys.
Yeah, we had a couple of the old couple just screaming about what the geography is we're about to go over and what the distance.
Almost got in a fist fight over what was farther to Denver, LAX, or the San Francisco airport. I think the airport.
At the booth. Yeah, we were screaming at each other,
You know why?
demanding that we see a map.
Let me explain why Drew pisses you off. You know when you're really tired and you're really strung out and you only got a couple hours sleep and that you couldn't be in a worse mood, and then you got to hang around somebody who's chipper and upbeat and wants to work out, like you're saying, I think I'm just going to sleep in the car, and that way I can get an extra 8 minutes in. I'm not going to go check into the hotel, because if I go check in, I'm only going to get 45 minutes sleep. But if I just sleep and stay in the car, and you guys just come down, and I change on the way to the gig, I can sleep for like 56 minutes. And Drew goes, I hope they have a place to work out. You go, oh, I'm going to kill you, man. You're lucky I'm so tired and lethargic, I would reach over and punch you. And then I start breaking wind. And that's when the fun really begins. Katie.
Hello?
You're 17.
Yes.
What's going on?
Well, lately I've been with my boyfriend for almost 2 years, and ever since we started going out, I've been getting, like, hints that he's cheating on me, and
How old is your boyfriend?
he's 17 also.
Mm-hmm.
And, people keep telling me, oh, he's doing things behind my back or whatever, and I have so many, like, clues that it's true, but I won't break up with him.
You choose to ignore them.
Yeah.
All right, why?
I don't know.
What kind of clues?
Well, I've had people that have seen him with other girls. I've been over there when other girls have called. I've had other girls tell me that he's, like, talking to their
Was
friends.
he your first boyfriend?
No.
Are you sleeping with him?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You laughed when you said no. Have you had lots of boyfriends?
Well, not really.
Is this one more meaningful in some way?
Yeah, but...
Why?
I don't know. It's like I feel like I want to break up with him, but then...
Is this the only one that you've been in where you sort of couldn't have it? You know, you were the pursuer?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Say that again.
In other words, she's the pursuer in this one. She's the one that has... The other guys have come to her, and she sort of allowed the relationship to happen. In this one, she wants that guy.
She likes him more than he likes her.
Basically, that's it. Yeah.
But I know it, and we've broken up before, and he's come back to me, or...
So this is sort of the abandonment issues. What's that all about? Somebody left you at some time in your life?
My dad.
What happened?
I don't really know. When I was younger, I was probably about 2 when my parents split up.
And you haven't seen him since then? Your dad?
Sometimes on holidays.
So you understand how when somebody fills that role for you, it's so hard for you to let that person go because it's unearthing all those same feelings of abandonment that you've been dealing with your whole life?
Yeah.
Why did your dad and your mom break up?
I don't know. Nobody really talks to me about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like kept from me, I guess.
Not that it's her business, really, you know. They broke up just 2, and...
I just mean, I had the suspicion that dad may have been cheating on mom or something like that. You know,
Well, he's in jail right now, and I think it has
just
to do...
girlfriend was going to the ATM.
But the deal is, it doesn't matter.
What's he doing in jail?
Dad's emotionally unavailable. Really unavailable.
And when I was younger, he would call on my birthday or Christmas, and
From jail.
he promised that he'd show up, and he never did.
Yeah, see, that's what this guy is. That's exactly what
that's sort of more the parole board's fault than his. I mean,
this is what the new guy is. This is what this guy represents, and that's why you can't let go. You let go, and boom, you were faced with all those same old feelings.
what's he in prison for?
Setting his girlfriend's house on fire, I think.
Nothing much.
It's not like she was in it. What?
No.
No.
I don't know. I get, like,
Grandma was.
bits and pieces from different family members and the newspaper. And,
Okay.
It's just not important. I mean,
All right.
but,
you know.
well, it's kind of...
All right, listen, Katie.
Well, no, I have a question about my stepdad.
Uh-oh.
What's he do to you?
Well, when I was younger, I guess I was probably about 6, I told my mom that I thought that... in school, they showed us a movie about, like, good touch, bad touch, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And, I told my mom about the movie and told her that I thought that her boyfriend was doing bad touch or whatever. And she didn't believe me, and she asked him. She brought him in the room and made us all 3 talk. And
Oh.
he like denied it, and since I was so young, I guess I believed that I was wrong and I didn't know what I was talking about. They both convinced me that.
Did it keep going on?
Not after that, and I kind of forgot about it until a couple years ago, and then I remembered and I said something to my mom about it again.
Mm-hmm.
And she thinks that.
You misinterpreted something.
Yeah.
It's kind of moot. I mean, it just adds to more of the trauma of the situation. I mean, you had enough health to step up and go, hey, Mom, by the way, something's going on here. Mom, as we know well, having married a felon and then stepped out into the house, wasn't always...
But Drew, the chances of her getting 2 bad seeds are almost astronomical, aren't they?
Astronomically good.
Oh, yeah. So, all right, Katie?
Yeah?
If your mom had nuts, I'd kick her right in them.
Well, she says because I can't tell her exactly what happened because I don't know. She thinks that
Katie?
It didn't happen.
All right.
Your mom is full of S.
And either way... Either way, your compass is kind of spinning around like when they do those Devil's Triangle reenactments on TV.
It doesn't really matter right now, does it?
Right.
I mean, I don't mean to be too disparaging of the parent.
I dump this guy.
The guy needs to go, but think of all the stuff that's going to break out in her.
All right.
The only
Katie, don't get pregnant. Have you been pregnant yet?
I don't think so.
Oh. That was not no.
Really?
Well,
You got pregnant once?
no.
She may be pregnant now.
No, I don't know. I had a problem with my period one time, and I went to the school nurse, and she thought that I was having a miscarriage.
All right. Okay.
Okay, don't get pregnant.
Okay.
Key,
Okay.
critical. But, if she can muster the resource, certainly her terminating the relationship would turn around the dynamics of this situation in a way that she would have control over these feelings and wouldn't feel so victimized and abandoned by somebody else. And she would be the one in control. And when she has the opportunity to do that, she can do it if she is able.
Listen,
find somebody who is available and establish a relationship that is genuine, and you'll have more strength to fight off this kind of nonsense.
I'm no theologian.
Indeed, you're not.
But I do know something about the Bible from watching a lot of late-night TV. And I know there's locusts, and I know there's, one leader that's supposed to take over. There's the apocalypse, that we're heading toward.
Yeah.
This I know. I don't know if they mention the calls that we get on this show about every second kid in America's dad's in prison, and stepdad's feeling them up, and everyone's pregnant at 15. But Jesus, that's got to be in there, doesn't it? I mean,
the Bible.
Screw locusts, by the way. Well, we could deal with those. Okay. Alyson, you all right?
Yeah, I think I have Lucas behind my house.
Oh, okay. So that's it. That's the missing
my
part of the
report.
puzzle.
It's starting.
And we'll be back.
Listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Yes, you is. Alyson Hannigan is here from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. on the WB, which I think they've dropped, by the way.
Oh,
That campaign?
hallelujah.
Have they?
I do believe, yes. We had to do a double dance last year, and this year the
Last year you had to do the
and it was awful. And this year they went for a nicer, more
We did
mature campaign.
We did that
campaign.
double thing.
Thank God that never
You
aired.
did the double dance?
Long story, but yes, we did. Wow. It was one of the lowest moments I can recall.
Yeah. I said to the guy, couldn't I just drop my pants and weep and save some face here instead of the dubba. Listen, I want to put this out because I know the entertainment industry listens to the show on occasion, many of them driving home, not from work but from bars at this time of night, and they tune in. And please come to me with all your lame-ass ideas before you unleash them on a unforgiving public. Because, Drew, as you know, I am like the emperor. I either give the thumbs up or the thumbs down. And when they told us to do this god-awful WB campaign, it was 2.5 years ago. And
three some odd years ago.
Whenever it was before the WB thing got off the ground, and I said to Drew, this is the lamest idea I've ever heard in my life.
We thought there was a mistake. Man, we were like, it's right. You're just screwing.
It's funny, they take it serious. I'm like, hey, watch Loveline on the WB. Wait, Adam, you're short a dubba.
Yeah, 3 more dubbas. That's it. Go.
Well, if you call WB, they have to answer the phone. or something.
That's
whatever.
gotta hurt. That's gotta smart. So listen, all you moronic TV people, come to me. At no cost, I will sit down and tell you how bad your ideas are.
They already know now. Now they've gone.
Well, I know, but believe me, there'll be others. Believe me, there'll be others.
Okay, well, the WB's clear now.
And as a matter of fact, the guy, the moron who came up with the dubba thing, don't worry, he hasn't been fired. They're still looking to him for ideas. I know how TV works.
Let me say something in defense of WB. I did a presentation, a panel on sort of young people's issues, and the WB was the one that really came to the table and was interested in learning and trying to create programs.
Well, they're desperate. They have such a horrible campaign. They need new talent.
They have a great campaign now.
I thought they were really genuine in their desire to do something real. That showed something.
They've changed it. Adam, I'll have somebody send it to you.
Don't want to hear it.
It's good. It's a lot of pretty women.
Okay. I'll put it on video.
Okay.
And beta.
Okay, beta.
I'm not buying into this whole VHS BS. I'm still sticking with beta. Not that there's anything wrong with the network. I'm just saying the campaign is god-awful. And let me explain the difference between TV and other industries. When I worked construction for many years, if we had a guy who showed up drunk and hung drywall sideways so it made an argyle pattern on the wall instead of doing it like he should have done it, and the studs were 18.5-inch on center instead of 16.5-inch on center, we'd fire his ass.
No,
in TV, you get a promotion.
He built my house, though.
Really?
Yes.
But you're pissed at him, right?
Sure,
and
if I could find him.
He won't build your next house, will he?
No.
In TV, you get a raise. That's the beauty of TV. Oh, my God. All right. Sorry. Really? Okay, I'm off my high horse.
On my house.
What's the matter with your house?
There's not one even wall. Everything is
shoddy construction,
it's strange.
Really?
Yeah, it was built in the 60s, and they were probably doing way too many drugs.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole, they don't build them how they used to. I got a house from 1923. They were real assholes back then.
You know what? My wife
Believe me.
made me watch like 3 seconds tonight of a newscast from the 60s where they were interviewing people that were doing drugs at the time, which drugs were starting to really hit the scene. And it's no wonder that people rejected the information that was available, the way they presented it. Just like, this person dropped acid 25 times. Here are his brainwaves on acid. And they talked with this very paternalistic, authoritarian tone.
It all sounded like Dragnet, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And of course people dismiss that. And the questions they asked the poor people who were suffering brain injury from was just pathetic. A bunch of journalists running amok again.
Yeah. Well, that's why you tune out the man. What is it?
Jaybird.
Hi.
Hey.
I wanted to talk to Alyson and say how much I appreciate your show, and my friends and I all have to see it.
Aww.
And it's wonderful. And I wanted to know how your health is, because I know you're having some trouble.
What?
I was?
On the show or in real life?
No, didn't you have some sort of surgery or something?
I had my tonsils out last year.
Oh,
yes.
So you're definitely better.
Yes, I've
For some
recovered.
reason that didn't hit the scene till more recently, I guess.
Oh.
And
Okay.
I just
That's
wanted
tough for your age, boy. Ooh.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's bad. Should wait till you're in your later 30s.
You should do when you're 6.
They were awful.
Yeah, it could be
The
terrible.
doctor saved them. He
'Cause they were
showed
so
them.
huge.
Yeah. He had never seen it.
Even if it had not been that case, just having your tonsils out as an adult is a miserable
I
experience.
got news for you. That wasn't your tonsils. They pulled that out of some drifter about 40 years ago, and they show them every time someone gets their tonsils out.
Really? I didn't see
I
it.
saw the same joke.
Jaber, what's going on?
well, that was pretty much it, and I wanted to voice my appreciation for the writers of Buffy.
Yes, we have wonderful writers.
Yes, because I think it's definitely the best young adult show out there. And I have many friends who are in their 20s and 30s that love to watch the show every time.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
Thanks, Jaybird.
No problem.
All
There
right.
you go.
Well, that was nice. Allison, this is Allison. Allison,
Hi.
you're 18.
Yes. I just want to say I listen to your show every night, and I love you guys.
Thanks. I was just reading some hate mail.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here we are.
Asians are pissed off about me talking about the Asian hookers, junior college students. And you know the junior college students are pissed when they compose a letter that's a page long, because that took them 4 days, Jerome.
But you get the same criticism on the same issue about junior college, is that a lot of people excel after going there when they don't have the resources financially to go to
Only the Asians, ironically. I want to work the two letters. I'm going to work them into one hate letter.
Oh, look at this one.
All right. You know what pisses me off about people? They get pissed at me. That's really the one thing that bugs me about people. But, you can't say anything good about people. You can't say anything bad about people. We had the guys in. I was saying how Asian families they value an education more than the Anglo types. Am I right, Drew? Wouldn't you say that's a fair stereotype?
Look, at this point in history, there are people from Asian countries who are putting a lot in, as immigrants have throughout history in this country, a lot of emphasis on their kids' opportunity to go forward.
Right. But there's also Asian hookers, isn't there? You saying they don't exist? Okay. Alyson?
Yes.
I mean, Alyson with the 2 L's?
That's you.
What's going on?
Okay, the other night I came home from work, and I just moved out of the house 3 months ago, and to college, and I've never met these girls before, and we've been living together for about 3 months, and the other night I came home from work, and they was just going at it on the couch. I mean, I couldn't believe it.
These are 2 women?
2 women, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And did you know they were involved before?
Absolutely not. I would never moved in.
And did they know that you saw them?
No, I just went straight to my room.
And they didn't notice you?
No, because my room's in the basement.
I see.
And my mom is an evangelist, and my dad's a lawyer. So gay, lesbian never came up in our house. And I don't know how to live. I don't know how to tell them exactly, that I know, because I really don't want to move out. And
why?
You have to move out just because your mom's your mom's an evangelist?
Yes.
But your dad's Jewish.
No, my dad's not Jewish.
He's a lawyer.
All right, write those letters.
And it just really, it kind of made me mad, because when I first moved in, they never said anything to me or anything, and I don't want to move all the way.
Were they your friends? Or are they your friends?
She never knew him before.
Right.
When did you move in? I'm sorry, I missed that too.
I moved in about 3 months ago.
3 months.
All right.
Have they become your friends?
Because I transferred to college. Yes, I mean.
All right, so these are your friends.
So they're lesbians.
They're your
Big
friends,
deal.
and they happen to be lesbians. I mean,
yeah, but it's just totally different now.
Why?
Because we're on the same swim team and everything, and now, when they touch me, or, I just get the wrong idea, and it just freaks me out.
Why did you make it clear to them that you're not gay, and you're not going to be gay, and that you appreciate it if they keep their relationship behind the closed door of their room, and that there be specific boundaries and rules in the household like you would if there were a heterosexual couple living there?
They was there before me. I mean, they're the ones.
Well, but that you're there now, and you have an opportunity to be a member of the household, and to let your wishes be known. So these are your friends.
So you just opened the front door and walked right in, and they didn't flinch?
Well, see, the computer room's on the left, and the living room's on the right.
They didn't see it.
Yeah, the Indigo girls cranked up so loud they couldn't hear anything.
I just couldn't believe it. I mean, they had their clothes off and everything.
Oh, my God.
Early. And
Well, now, it's one thing to involve in the satanic ritual of lesbianism, but it's another thing to do it without your clothes on.
Okay, well, I have a boyfriend, and I told him about it.
And
we've been going out for 5 years.
Yeah.
And he is all for it. I mean, he comes over all the time.
Oh, God. That's the thing you should be outraged about. For God crying out loud. Your boyfriend's trying to. I mean, it's so pathetic. Men are pathetic.
Oh, I know
He had no compassion for what you were dealing with, which your feelings are valid, although they're kind of based, it's sort of a fantasy.
Well,
your feelings are your feelings.
Evangelist-lawyer combination's a pretty potent psychological dynamic to grow up amongst.
I'm sure.
A lawyer alone, that's enough.
That's bad.
Evangelist, enough. The two, that is a 1-2 punch.
Right, if you have a boyfriend, hopefully he can be supportive of your feelings and not focus on trying to catch a glimpse of some lesbian action.
Well, he is
pathetic.
so excited. I mean...
Oh, please. Don't get me angry.
Are you having sex with him, your boyfriend?
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Well, please, that guy's got to do something.
All right, but look, I just think you set some boundaries in the household and keep focused on the fact that these are your friends, that you have issues with homosexuality. It's not their issue, it's yours, and it frightens you and it overwhelms you. You don't know how to deal with it, and you'll learn something about it. There's a lot of homosexual people in the world, and they're fine. They're good people just like you.
I told my boyfriend about it, and he's like, well, maybe you're so homophobic, you might just want to get in bed with him one
Yeah,
time.
He's working a good angle, that boy.
You should be much more disturbed about this boyfriend than anything else in this story. Because that's a much more serious problem.
But let me tell you the beauty of Alyson and the way folks like Alyson think. The more the boyfriend brings it up, the more she gets pissed at the girls.
Right.
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 Oh.
You see, that's what I love about good religious thinking. Do you see the connection there?
Yes.
This is why I don't like religion for the most part. He can bring up lesbianism, threesomes, wanting to walk in, wanting to get you involved with them, wanting to set up a video, and you'll get more and more pissed off at these two lonely lesbians who aren't really doing anything except for messing up one side of the sofa. Okay?
Yes.
Now, make this your own issue and your boyfriend's issue, and don't make a big deal out of it.
Remember that these are your friends. That's all. And that you have a right to certain boundaries and propriety in your house. That's all.
I'd love to find a woman like this. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like Alyson.
Hey, he just keeps going off about the lesbianism. She gets more and more angry at the lesbians.
This is like the guy that cheats on his girlfriend, and the girl gets mad at the girl he cheats with.
Right. That's good. Yeah, it's like your dog takes a dump on the throw rug, and you get pissed at the rug.
Yeah.
Because if the rug wasn't there, the dog would have just crapped into space.
Yeah.
The crap would just be floating out in some black hole somewhere, entering the Milky Way. All right, Alyson is here from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and we will be back.
Comfortable affecting your comfort in the workplace. It's a serious issue, and I would take it up with a manager.
Okay.
And if you can't communicate it to them, maybe the manager can help you set the boundaries and make things clear so it isn't ultimately more uncomfortable for you.
Is this guy the manager?
No.
And be sure to tell the manager too, that you're not, you're concerned about it being a healthy work environment. You don't want to upset the guy and create all kinds of God knows what kind of reaction from him, but you need the manager's help in setting down some boundaries.
What do you do over there?
If he does become aggressive, then set it down absolutely.
What do you do over there, Jennifer?
I'm a beggar.
No.
Beggar?
Yeah.
Bagger. They got unions for that, right?
Yep.
That's a good gig.
Yeah, good money.
I mean,
Well, you
not that kind of money we're making or anything. Right? Right.
Better than you.
But good money for you people.
Better than you made most of your life, though, right?
Oh, well, yes. Yes. I was a digger and making $7 an hour. All right, Jennifer.
Tell the manager, right?
Okay.
All right. Tell him first and give him a chance, and then tell the manager. This is what I always believe, that you need to give people, even if the guy's a little bit out of line, you need to give people the opportunity to correct their behavior without somebody correcting it for them.
It's hard, though, if somebody feels overwhelmed or threatened. And
that's true.
Yeah, it's on
the other hand, it's weird because you go tell the manager, then the manager comes down on him like a hammer, and now he passes you and he looks down at his shoes when he walks by, and you got to go to work with this guy, and it's a little bit weird.
Referring to, right, that or maybe the manager can help her communicate it to him in a way that's effective without getting him angry and aggressive.
Right.
Or who knows what, reacting in some way.
And the beauty of this is especially if it's a big chain, everyone is so paranoid these days of any kind of sexual harassment case or anything like that. Everyone goes to sensitivity training and all that other BS, so they're going to take it seriously. Am I right, Drew?
Yep.
All right. JR.
Hey.
Hey, you're 14, man.
Dr. Drew, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
My sister was, hit by a car a couple years ago, and, she lived through it, and she's fine. She ice skates now and stuff like that. But I was wondering if, that could have psychological problems on me, because,
sure.
I thought I was cool with it and stuff like that. But I was in a CPR class the other day, and all of a sudden I got a panic attack. I got really hot. I couldn't see. I couldn't hear.
Right. Panic attacks are just one of the most miserable experiences that humans get to go through. And most people experience them as a sense of impending doom, where they become preoccupied that they're going to have a heart attack, they get chest pain, they feel like they're going to have a stroke, they feel like they're going to go crazy. And anything you can imagine that seems sort of an ultimate experience is sort of going through your mind. Your heart races, you get short of breath, you feel like you can't walk, can't see as you're describing. And these are panic attacks, and lots of people get these.
Were you present when your sister got hit by the car?
Yeah, I saw the whole thing.
I mean, certainly this could be obviously just a sort of a remnant of that whole traumatic experience, sort of what would be sort of couched under the classification of a post-traumatic stress disturbance. It might be that you're depressed. It might be that you have a bona fide panic disorder that's coming out now.
Well, I think part of it is, too, is the particular why JR went to the YMCA. They couldn't afford a CPR dummy, so they used a cadaver. And
That could be a
that
panic
brought
attack.
on...
I think of a little panic. But in there are drugs that induce panic attacks. Cocaine use can induce panic up to 5 years after the use. And panic, again, can be part of a multiplicity of different syndromes. And in your case, it sounds like it's a natural result of having been a part of that
That's
trauma.
enough about panicking. What happened? Did she run across the street?
I got to finish. You got to make sure, though, JR, this is important, that you be sure that you don't have any medical problems like thyroid conditions. There are things. There are plenty of medical conditions and medications that can precipitate what would otherwise be seen as panic attack. Go ahead, Adam.
He probably didn't really have a panic attack. He probably just got a little dry mouth and wanted to sit down. JR?
JR?
Yeah.
JR doesn't sound capable of a panic attack. I had to nudge him to get him to talk on the radio. Did you have a full-blown panic attack, JR?
I don't know. I've never had it before.
Okay. What happened with your sister? Did she run across the street and you saw it happen?
No, she was crossing the street, and it was like a blind curve, and the guy like went on the wrong side of the street to go around her, but she darted for the house, and it happened.
Did you see it?
Yeah, you know how like in plays they float the little rag.
No, I love about our listeners. What happened? She run across
Let him finish it.
What, Drew? Don't come down on me.
Well, he was telling you something very important. What was it like?
You know how like in plays they float the little rag dolls and they do cartwheels?
Yeah.
That's exactly how it looked like.
So she went toppling.
Yeah, she got a compound fracture in her femur.
But she's all right now.
Oh yeah, she ice skates and stuff like that. So.
Did you have to perform any kind of CPR or anything on her?
No.
No, it was just a limb fracture.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right, that's bad, but
Wasn't
I
a
think
head
she'll be all right.
Yeah, it wasn't a head injury.
She'll be all right, and I think JR will, too.
Probably, that's true.
My mom got hit by a car when I was really young. I didn't have any. I took her to show and tell, actually.
Did you see it happen?
No.
No. You just saw it afterwards.
You took her to show and tell after she got hit by the car?
Yeah, and we all got to learn how to make casts.
Did you go to one of those hippie schools?
It was,
Yeah,
private school.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like something that
But
would go
then I
on
went to
anywhere
public
else.
school because I was sick of that.
Yeah, quit bogarting the hookah, man, and pass me the plaster of
No,
Paris.
it was more like till 4th grade, and then I went to public school from
Right.
then on.
That was my career.
I should have gone backwards, I think.
Did you not learn how to read?
No, they were just like, well, if you don't feel like it,
If you don't feel like reading, that's cool.
you don't know all the all right.
Yeah, get to call your teachers
But I
by
really
their first
like
name.
this drawing. It's very nice. It makes you feel. It's like, oh,
Yeah, that was my school.
that's great. Yeah, I hated it.
Yeah, but
And I
look
went
at
to
you.
public school,
You guys are
and
nuts.
I couldn't spell. I still can't.
Wow, we got to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my life. I went to public school.
We went to the same school, I think. Didn't we have this conversation?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow, heavy, man. Yeah, that's where the man was trying to keep me down.
Did a good job of it, too. If only he had succeeded.
You know, when you go to hippie school your whole life and then you go to public school, I remember some kid going to me, I think I told this before, but it bears repeating. Some kid said to me, hey, the bell rang. I didn't even know what the bell was ringing for. I thought it was, some sort of fire drill. And he goes, and I was just standing around, and everyone else was scattering to class, and he goes, you better hurry up, you're going to be tardy. And I was like, what's tardy? Tardy isn't a word that exists anywhere but public schools. It's not in the hippie schools, and there's no tardy at work or anything else. I mean, tardy is something you learn in public school. Bunch of guys with crew cuts hitting other guys with utility balls in a big chain link fence environment. Yeah, oppressive, man. Couldn't spread my wings. Couldn't finger paint. Couldn't play with clay. Okay, we'll be back. For Loveline, 1-800-LVE-191. Alyson Hannigan is here from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock on the WB, and kind of building momentum as it goes, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. I tell you, I wouldn't have picked that show to be as successful as it is.
Have you watched it?
Drew told me about it, and from Drew's accounts, no, I got to be honest. Didn't we go through this last time you were on the show?
Probably.
It's only been a year.
All right, let's
Usually my excuse is I can't watch something.
Because it's on. We're on.
Yeah, we're on.
Yeah.
And that's the one I use.
So this is on at 8 or 8:30, right?
Yeah, can't you fire up that beta machine?
I don't know how that works.
No.
And I have one that'll only record porn.
Oh.
And you're right. See how that VHS thing is past, that fad? We're already onto the DVD. You're right to stay with the beta.
The point is I don't have any excuse for not watching this. You know, but I'll tell you honestly, here's the way I feel. Because I hear nothing but great things about this show. I feel like on a show like this, and I know you don't need this kind of promotion because it's not really promotion, but I feel like it already got started up and now I'm lost. It's like some class that I'm coming into halfway into the semester, and I don't know what page we're on. Go ahead and explain to us why that's not true.
Well, these things are written to capture you in a single episode.
Exactly.
Right? Every single one of those is written to be a serial and to get you hooked in after
But
one
yeah, I know you could make that argument for a lot of shows, but like I watch The Simpsons because the Simpsons are just the episode is self-contained. I know, okay, you could make this argument for anything. I feel like on shows like this or Dawson's Creek or X-Files, I've never seen an X-Files episode because I just feel like I'm behind.
I understand that feeling, but I just think that you're wrong.
Okay. I never saw Twin Peaks either. Because I just felt
Twin
like...
Peaks, didn't you pretty much have to watch every episode, though?
Yeah, I guess so. That's what I mean. I never saw one. I never saw the first 10, so I couldn't see the next 100.
You can take any of our shows and basically figure everything out. I mean, you might be like,
they must... They're good writers. I mean, they must write with that in mind constantly.
Yes.
So, starting Tuesday... This, what day is it? Oh, is that tomorrow? Yeah, not tomorrow. But the following Tuesday, I'm going to watch this show, and I'm coming back with a review, right, Drew?
Sure.
And you too, you bastard.
I'll hold my breath.
Matt.
Yeah?
You're 13.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Big fan of the show. Been listening for a long time. My parents listened.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but they only started when I was like a teenager to teach me. But what I really called about was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Big fan of the show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's like my favorite show. Every Tuesday, I have to be home at exactly 8 o'clock, or otherwise I'm on a pissy mood.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're 13. What are you doing now?
Right now?
Yeah, I mean, you're home at the,
I'm listening to your show.
Down at the club playing pinochle. You're 13. Of course you're home at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
You can still be outside.
Because my mom makes me go to Boy Scouts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll turn you gay,
Oh.
All right, Ann, I'm just kidding. Come on. Please.
All right. So, one of my questions, my first one, though, is, like, I'm such a big fan of the show, and I've never been able to find a poster. Can I get an autographed poster of the whole cast?
Well, I can give you, or I can take down your address, and I don't know if I can get you one with the whole cast sign, because, well, I don't know if they even make posters anymore, but we can, like, get you a cast photo.
Okay.
I don't know about cast, like, poster.
What number? Or do you want...
No, I'll take his and send it.
Man, you're not going to do anything weird to it, are you?
Look behind you.
Alyson. Do something.
Yeah.
They want you to send your picture to him.
Oh, I can send my picture, but he wanted the cast picture.
Yeah.
I can send my picture and the cast picture.
How about that?
Yeah.
All right. It's not a poster, but it's a picture.
So hold
Big
here.
enough.
Hold, and we'll get his number off.
Cool. Perfect.
Like
Lisa,
the
Ann, you got that?
Yeah, it's like the one you put on the wall when you open the dry cleaner.
By the way, we haven't given out our new email address.
No, we're not gonna.
Earthlink, loveline@earthlink.net.
All right. I still don't have the password, and I'm going to work that out.
Maybe a reason that they haven't given it to you.
Like I don't care. Diana,
Yeah.
you're 18.
Yeah.
What's going on?
First, I want to say, Alyson, I love the show, like, so much. I watch it religiously. I want to know if there's anything with you and David Boreanaz going on.
I was curious about that, too.
Nothing whatsoever.
Are
We're
you
just,
sure?
yes, we're just very good friends. No, I mean, that sounds
How about
really
off
bad.
stage? What about off stage?
I'm talking about off stage.
I know.
Well, I see you guys at premieres and everything together.
Yeah,
He loves you all
he's
the time.
just a sweetie, and I also am a very big fan of his wife. So, in fact, I hang out with her more than I do.
He's married?
Sure, like a lesbian thing?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know where you're going.
No, he's just very sweet, and we're very affectionate, but that's it. And some people have caught on and been like, ooh, are you guys, going out or anything? But
Also,
no.
are you going to get down and dirty with Seth Green next season?
I hope so. That's my boyfriend on the show.
We just had Seth in here.
Right.
He plays Oz on our show.
He was in Can't Hardly Wait.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's great.
Nice guy.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very funny. I can't wait. He's going to be a series regular next season.
Cool.
And you guys may have some sort of romance?
Well, he's already my boyfriend, so.
Oh, see? See, Drew, if you'd watch the show, you know what was going on. So, you guys already getting it on?
No, we've had one baby kiss, and that's it.
Well, how old do you play?
17? Probably
17?
17, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Going into our senior year at high school, so.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same thing. I'm 34, but I played 19 on the regular.
Diana, what's your question?
Dr. Drew, I called earlier. I think I called the same day Seth Green was there, as a matter of fact, and I told you that I had missed my period a couple times because I was on Micronor.
Right.
Well, I still haven't had it, and I was wondering how long you can go when you're on birth control pills without having your period.
You can go and go and go.
For real?
Yeah, but you got to talk to your doctor about it.
Okay.
It'd be better if you menstruate, I suspect.
Okay.
Why?
Well, I mean, there can be problems with the endometrial growth. I mean, there shouldn't be with this particular pill. I mean, there's no absolute reason why she has to menstruate. She doesn't. It really doesn't. I mean,
I saw some science film that said it was very bad if girls don't.
well, it depends on the situation. I mean, she's taking hormones
Was it hippie
basically
school,
stop the
No, it was
menstruation.
public high school.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, if they're saying that if a woman doesn't menstruate and she's not on medication and not on pills, yes, that's a sign of medical illness, and they need to be evaluated. It's called oligomenorrhea or amenorrhea if they've never had a period or have it longer than 6 months.
Who'd you have for health over at Walter Reed or North Hollywood?
Health, or I had Miss Herbst for chemistry.
Oh, did they have...
She's very good.
Did they have Miss Phillips over there or Miss Sylvester?
That was Walter Reed for PE.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
Yes.
Miss Washington?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You never had Miss Commissar over at North Hollywood High, did you?
Commissar?
Miss
What about
I killed her.
Miss Horn?
No, didn't have Miss
Let
Horn.
me finish, though. But, for instance, the Depo-Provera, which is similar to Micronorm, women may bleed constantly or have no period the entire time they're on the therapy. So, I mean, you just you want there to be you want to keep it as close to the natural cycling of the system as you can.
All right.
Have adequate estrogen.
This reminded me, by the way, since we're waxing nostalgic about North Hollywood High, it's been a while since I've spoken to Mr. Gregory, my driver's ed teacher who failed me for no real good reason when I was in the 10th grade and screwed up an entire summer of mine. So I just like to take this opportunity to tell Mr. Gregory to kiss my hairy ass. Hope you're sweltering in your crappy little one-bedroom in Van Nuys. Well, I go home to my palatial estate with my sports cars and my Asian hookers, right, Drew?
There you go again.
That's right. What a life I'm leading.
Disparaging the Asians again.
What a
Adam.
life I'm leading.
Leading that stereotype again.
What if I like Asian hookers? Does that mean I'm disparaging them? All right. The point is, I don't want to get sidetracked. Mr. Gregory, kiss my ass. Thank you. Stacy, you're 14.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Okay. I have this boyfriend who's 25, and we've been going out for about a year. And he's been, like, beating me physically over, like, little arguments that we have.
How long has this been going on for?
Pardon me?
How long has the physical abuse been going on for?
About 4 months.
Okay, you must end this relationship.
Well, that's the problem, though. I can't.
Why?
I'm like, it's like an addiction. I can't.
Yes, it is.
He's been beating you. How badly?
Yeah, well, bruises.
How old is he again? 25?
25.
You're 14?
Yeah.
Sounds healthy. No?
It's a nightmare. It's a
What state do you live in?
Pardon me?
What state do you live in?
California.
Mm-hmm.
What,
Yes.
aren't there laws?
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff?
Oh, yes. You need to call the police or tell the social services somebody.
She ain't gonna do that.
I mean, well, yeah, I mean, of course. I mean,
You're going to end up...
Like your mom? Where's your mom?
bed again. She's in her room.
Mm-hmm. Was she beaten when you were growing up?
When out, did she beat me?
No, but did you see her beaten when you were growing up?
Oh, by my dad, yeah.
Okay, so you think that's normal?
No.
No.
Well, you kind of do. I mean, you may not think it's normal, but you act like it is.
As though it's acceptable.
Right?
Well, I've, like, grown up with it all my life, so it's kind of, like, just not anything.
Well, but it is something. And when are we going to get, why am I blanking on her name? O.J. Simpson's... Nicole's sisters on the show.
This is a little slip there.
First week of August.
First week of August. I mean, you're going to end up like Nicole Brown Simpson. That's what's going to happen here. This is going to escalate. It's going to get worse. This is a extremely dangerous circumstance.
I mean,
And this guy's a criminal.
Well, wait a minute. I thought Nicole Brown was killed by drug lords because of her connection with that chick who had too much facial surgery.
Right. I beg your pardon.
Abused.
Right. But she was abused anyway, and she ended up dead.
Before the drug lords.
Draw your own conclusions. But,
right.
This is a common story. Let's put it that way. And you throw in a little stimulants. Is he an addict at all, the guy?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Thank God. You throw in some speed or some cocaine, and you have murder.
Oh, the guy's 25, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Where'd you meet him?
Actually, I met him at a party.
You've been going out for a year?
Yeah.
He was 13. Well, wait a minute. He was 24. So he was a year younger, too, smarty pants. You understand?
We're not sexually active or anything like that.
What?
We're not sexually active.
That bothers Adam even more, unfortunately.
Well, now, wait a minute. Hear me out for a second. It makes the relationship even more bizarre, in my opinion, because
it makes it legal, though. I mean,
yeah, I know, but it's even more. It's more bizarre in its own way. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad they're not having a sexual relationship with her being 14 and him being 25. But wouldn't you agree that a 25-year-old guy who's having a relationship with a 14-year-old and he's beating her, and it's not even a sexual relationship. I mean, it's not like he's just some, sexual deviant who's pent up and horny and trying to get himself a young piece of ass. He's not. That's not even the relationship. It's a psychological dynamic that's going on here, which is, to me, even more dangerous.
Crazier, yeah.
Crazier.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad they're not having sex, but I think you could make an argument for him being even more, diabolical.
What can we say to help Stacy leave this relationship? Is there anything? I mean, what can we say? Except that, Stacy, that's the only option. There is no getting better from something like this. Not unless he's
like anytime that happens or whatever, he's just like, well, I had to put up with it all my life because his parents used to beat him all the time.
Of course. And in Adam's utopia, he would go after your parents and his parents before he went after him, or just immediately follow.
Right, and he would be sterilized.
Yeah.
Does he have any kids?
No.
That you know of.
Right.
Yeah, that I know of.
Or that he knows of.
But, I mean, what is it going to take until you actually decide that you have
to leave?
Too much?
Yeah, it's going to get worse.
I don't know.
Oh, well, even forget about the physical abuse part. He's 25, you're 14. Well, that is bizarre.
Well, we know that, but I'm trying to think of some...
I've had people tell me before, well, I mean, because you guys are always talking about the whole father figure thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like I haven't talked to my dad in a year.
I know, and your dad was an abuser when he was around. I mean, this is perfectly trying to live that out and make that right again. But the fact is, people, you need to release yourself from the bonds and chains of your childhood. You have to find a way. When you can acknowledge that that's what's going on, you must find a way to make a real human contact with another person who doesn't fit the mold, doesn't fit the character, the role that you've cast to try to solve the problems of childhood. You must abandon those old patterns that are left over from your childhood and your family of origin and try to make contact with people that are not so enticing and a little more boring, and you'll find far greater satisfaction.
You know, it's horribly flawed in the horribly flawed component in human beings, which is if Stacy had taken a math class when she was 12 and she had some maniacal teacher who brought her up in front of the class and made her do some equations that she
never
couldn't
take
do,
math again.
she'd never get near a chalkboard or an abacus again in her life, so help me.
Yeah.
But she can watch her dad beat the crap out of her mom for 10 years and be horribly attracted to a man who beats her.
This is why I say-
That is why there's no God. He would not create man that way. He would be a cruel God if he did that. Yes, you guys all know I'm right.
Yep.
Thank you. Andrea,
More letters.
you're 19.
Yeah. I was wondering what kind of sexual activity is normal in childhood.
Anything that's not actually sexual.
Fiddling, diddling, and goosing.
And goofing around and that kind of stuff. But at the point at which it becomes purposely sexual, you've got a problem.
Playing doctor.
That's sort of experimentation, exploration, that kind of stuff. Why? What happened?
Well, I just remember, young, grade school, just friends and I would, find hideouts and play around and stuff. And
Same age as you?
what?
Your friends were the same age?
Same age.
What kind of playing around?
Just touching, feeling, experimenting, I guess. Nothing clothes on, of course, but.
No, all right.
But it was not.
I mean, I thought it was normal because they were doing it too, but.
Well, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
No. Listen, this is normal.
What did it have a sexual quality to it?
Yeah, I mean, it was enticing, but.
But was it?
Yeah, but see, Drew, you can't really have this question answered in a satisfactory way the way you're asking. It was a sexual thing where were people slapping each other in the ass, you love it, bitch? I don't think so. But there was something naughty and something covert about it. You knew not to do it in front of your parents, right?
Yeah.
You went somewhere to do it.
Yeah. But, yeah, exactly. And
How have your relationships been?
I don't know, not too good. Okay, I guess. Nothing real extraordinary.
Yeah, are you confused about your sexual identity at all?
Oh, no, not.
Okay.
No, not at all.
You know you're bisexual unequivocally?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
wait a minute, are you bisexual?
Well, I haven't. I mean, I believe I could be, but I haven't.
What do you mean you could be?
Well, I haven't had the opportunity, but if it,
All right. It sounds that we would.
I was making a joke, but you maybe there is a little ambivalence.
Yeah.
All right. So
okay. You're 19.
But where's the line drawn, age-wise? Because I remember, bathing with my neighbor across the street.
Normal.
And he was a boy.
Normal.
And then his cigar fell into the tub, and the mom got pissed off. And
but then I remember also doing the whole hiding behind the bushes and I'll show you. Mom,
Drew.
Hell was that?
Hold on, let me talk to
time.
Ouch, baby, I'm over here.
All right.
Let me talk to you for a second. Drew has triplets.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 3.
Ooh.
You see, and they're all, what are they, 11?
5.
But together they're 15,
yes.
right? Okay, they're 5 going on 6. That's why I like when people say that kind of stuff. We're engaged to be married. Oh. That's different. Okay, so they're 5. They're getting they're starting the next few years. They're getting into that age where that kind of stuff goes on. That little pull the skirt up over the head, hanky panky, diddling around, screwing around. That kind of stuff. Now, I try to tell Drew that this is sort of a facet.
It is. I agree with you.
Of childhood.
I totally agree with you.
But I don't have kids, so I can speak about it quite freely.
But see, with Adam, it became an art form. It kept going into adolescence where they started diddling with hoses and
please, Drew,
animal equipment and things.
Hoses, please. Please, don't embarrass me.
You described a garden hose episode.
I want to hear that story.
Somebody, and not myself. But no, I was. These guys were 18, 19 at this point.
That's my point. You kept the childhood thing could have evolved.
18, 19, and a garden hose. Go on.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Drew. When did I tell you this story?
You told me all the anima stories.
All right, I'm going to embarrass my friend. I don't want to bring the guy's name up, but they put a garden hose in his ass, and then filled his ass up with some water, and then we drove to the Jack in the Box drive-thru, and he hung his ass out the window and shot some water out of his ass onto the Jack in the Box thing. I mean, it's normal stuff. I'm sure every 18 or 19-year-old goes through that phase where they put a hose in their ass and they go to a Jack in the Box drive-thru.
I just want to make sure we make the point that Adam is the one telling us what is normal behavior in childhood. Okay.
He's also telling us it was a friend of his.
And normal at 18.
He's alone, and he wanted a chicken sandwich.
All I was doing is riding shotgun, like our first caller who was at the bank looking into a tube. No, luckily the wind was blowing the other direction, and I was fine.
How did he hold it?
He has a lot of tenacity, a lot of stick-to-itness,
training,
a lot of training. It was a fairly short drive. I mean, it was about a mile. Let me tell you, there was a guy in front of us at the drive-thru was like ordering for the whole softball team, and believe me, was not happy about this. You ever heard a guy like, "Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go"?
You think about this group of guys sitting around. It wasn't like they thought to go to Jack in the Box after the garden hose.
Right.
This must have been plotted out. How long to figure this grand scheme out?
There's not a lot to do in the Valley growing up. You got to make your own fun. So, it wasn't like you with tickets to the opera. You understand?
As we said, so yes, absolutely, there is exploration that is normal, and it's very hard to distinguish overtly sexual exploration versus normal sort of pre-pubertal, pre-sexual exploration, which really isn't purposeful. It's not directed towards orgasm or penetration or anything like that.
Now, you do know that, at least my friends, we all made our Barbies have sex.
That's common to have we had this conversation last time you were up here.
Yeah.
It's common for kids
not
to
that
do.
I'm obsessed with
but
Barbies
again, it's usually not. It's not really purposeful. It's sort of like putting them together and on top. You kind of have a sense of what it is.
Listen, here's what it is. It's like boys that play army with fake guns. There's not real bullets flying around, but you get the notion of what they're trying to do. Now, they're not going to grow up and join the army and kill somebody necessarily, but it's the same sort of thing. There's that inclination.
There's an inclination, yeah.
A friend of mine put a Ken doll in his ass and shot it out at a McDonald's drive-thru. Yeah. Okay, Drew. Thanks for bringing that up, by the way, Drew.
Well, there's more stories. This is what I learned traveling with you, by the way.
All right. I got to stop taking them tranquilizers on the plane, Looks like I start rambling, All right, we'll be back. Alyson Hannigan is here from Buffy the Vampire.
What is that?
Is that too loud? I didn't get it. Was it because I was talking?
You just killed us here, Mike.
I got it.
What was that?
Maybe that's some kind of power surge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really loud.
Well, that's God punishing the two sinners.
It's sweet.
There's something very wrong with the transmission. It's like
Rice Krispie.
Yes, all kinds of.
Well, now I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all right.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock. No excuse not to watch it, Drew.
If this is going out over the air, it sounds terrible. I don't know what it sounds like in there.
I sound good.
No.
Ooh.
It's even worse.
All right. This is Westwood 1. Maybe one of the chipmunks got tired and the generator slowed down. Should you go out to the back of the building and feed them?
It's just your headphones, guys.
No, it sounds like you're talking to a kazoo.
Oh, it is? Yeah. I hear it a little bit, but not as much as you do.
All right.
All right, here we go. Mike's assured us it's not going out over the air this way. Melissa?
Yes.
You're 18.
Yes.
What's going on with you?
Actually, I just want to call and say that you're wrong about Buffy. I just started watching it about 2 months ago, and I had no problem whatsoever getting into it. And now, actually, I watch it all the time. I actually watched it tonight, which is why I called in, because it seemed really great to me that Alyson was on.
Tonight?
Yeah, they're repeating the first season on Mondays.
Oh, why didn't you tell me that? I would have said
because
that.
It makes a lot more
hopeless.
But you watched that episode where everyone wore the name tags, right?
Nope.
No.
I know, I said, okay, who's that? Who's that? Who's that?
I can give you a cheat sheet, Adam.
Yeah. I want one of those things that I tape to the screen that has everyone's name over it and sort of and says what color their hair is, so I don't have to look down at a piece of paper. Melissa?
Yeah.
All right, now this is sounding bad.
Well, I just have a quick question for Alyson.
Yes.
I wanted to know if you're anything at all like your character Willow, or like, actually how more she was last season. And, like, if you had like, any advice about, like, how people would go from being more of the friend, like, in the shadows to being more, like, in the limelight.
You got to talk to the writers, right?
Like, how you would go about doing that in your own life?
Yeah.
Well, I would just say, just believe in yourself and just be true to who you are, and then it's more like you're just trying to hey, wait a minute, you're just trying to please yourself and not anybody else, and then you can be more of yourself.
No, you get the drugs, and then you're known as the candy man, and then your friends come around.
But I'm being facetious, but I mean, what you're saying, of course, is true, but how do you do that?
You have...
How do you get this?
You have to go through adolescence and become an adult, and then you can do it.
Yeah, you have to suffer a lot in the meantime.
Yeah.
Probably. But let me
Trust me, in
this
high
is something we
school,
struggle with a little bit is, how do you get courage?
Yeah, really.
You ever think about that? How does somebody get courage?
Get drunk?
I think you're put into a situation where you either do it or you don't.
Yeah, but what gives people the strength to be able to
I don't
step
know.
up?
It just happens.
Well, I mean, I'm the strength in the group, but I mean, like, I'm not the one that ever gets noticed. I mean, like, I'm the dependable one, and it's so fun.
But you might be getting noticed, and you just don't know it, because the people that are noticing you aren't noticing them also. And they're the ones that 10 years from now, they're going to be the ones you want to, like, hook up with.
All right, I'm going to put out a theory that I just thought of, but I think it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Which is, some people are in are evolving, and the good people evolve. They're not the same at 14 as they are at 18 as they will be at 25.
They don't get stuck.
Now, the people that get laid a lot in high school,
stop there.
They started evolving, hit their peak about 15, 16, and then started sort of honing. Now, those people have a great time in high school because their breasts have evolved, their hair has evolved, their teeth has evolved, their ass has evolved, and they never looked, or sounded, or did any better than from the time they were 16 to 18. The people that evolve, unfortunately, are passing through a phase at 16 or 18 and may not hit their peak years until their mid or later 20s.
Yeah.
So the more miserable you are at 18, probably the happier you're going to be at 28.
Also motivates you to keep changing if you're not happy.
Yeah, I've been to my class reunion.
And so guys like Adam can abuse you when you evolve into something higher sort of existence.
Right.
Just because of what a nerd you were in high school, Adam can talk about knowing what your real person is all about.
That is not true. But when I went to my high school reunion, I did see that I saw the folks that sort of peaked out and then started going downhill after they peaked, and then the ones that kept evolving.
Yeah, but you abused the ones that kept evolving, even on the air here.
I did?
I say that the more painful your teenage years are, the better you are in the long run.
That's right. Provided you don't kill yourself.
That which does not kill me makes me stronger?
Yes.
Yeah, unless you're talking about carbon monoxide.
Well, also,
but then you know how miserable you can be, so you appreciate when you can be happy.
That and those patterns. You got to break those impulsions to...
True, your patterns, talking about patterns. Hillary.
Hey.
Oh, this is driving me nuts with these headphones.
Yes. I can't hear any of that.
You're getting a normal sound on your end?
Yeah, I hear it.
I hear it. It's literally like sounds like you were talking with a kazoo.
Hold on, I know Westwood won. I think I can fix
You're
this.
You're going to hit
Hold on.
Aren't you?
No, I think it's that thing. Bang that.
Test one? Oh.
Hey, Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
Is that any better?
No.
Are you guys still messing with the sound?
Yeah, but go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Have you read that book by Scott Peck, The Road Less Traveled?
Yes.
What do you think of it?
Excellent.
I'm reading it right now.
Excellent book.
I'm in the grace part.
Excellent.
Is that out on cassette?
I'm sure it is.
I could hear that.
But Adam, you would agree to it. He talks about how people with personality disorders constantly blame the environment for their state.
and they don't take responsibility.
They don't take responsibility. There's a theme that we strike off on in this show, but he gets into great detail about why that happens and what you can do to change it. So.
You know what? I didn't think my call was going to be answered because it's another, why don't I get my period question. I didn't think you guys wanted to go on the menstruation route tonight, but I went off the pill about a year ago, and I was on it for 4 years, and my periods still aren't regular, and it's been a year, and I've gone to the doctor, and they took blood, and they did a test on thyroid, I think.
Yeah.
And the test came out normal. And just the last week, I was having pains in my lower, I guess right where my ovaries.
Do you think you have cysts?
I was wondering that. I'm going to the doctor tomorrow. I just wanted to know what kind of questions to ask them.
Ask him to do an ultrasound. Yeah, you need an ultrasound. And also, are you on any other medications?
No.
And were you regular before you went on the pill?
No, way not irregular.
All right, so you may never, not everybody's regular. You may never be regular.
Well, it's kind of scary. Well, I'm using a diaphragm right now, and my boyfriend and I are,
All right. I mean,
and I took a test today, and I'm not pregnant. And
you should use a diaphragm and a condom if you really want it to be effective as a contraceptive.
Do you have a retriever to get that out?
You got to stick your finger in there.
Way in.
Pull it out.
But don't they give you, like when you shoot pool and there's something you can't get to, you pull the bridge out? They don't have any diaphragm bridge? There's nothing like that? I thought there was something. I swear to God, this thing came with a stick or something. No?
Tampon.
There may be. It's not a bad idea to have people.
No, it's more of a fuse than there's a string.
It's not a bad idea, but the lip of the diaphragm is usually pretty approachable with the finger.
Oh yeah, but isn't it like you're doing something to yourself? When you go get it.
How about your partner going to get it?
No, that's worse. That's worse. I don't. All that stuff where they go, well, I'll tell you make condoms, and here's what you do with condoms. You make it into a fun thing. She puts the condom on with her foot or something. Oh, please, spare me. That is not exciting. He can go diving in after the diaphragm like a dog going after a tennis ball in the pool. Forget about it. You get your own diaphragm, I'll put my own damn condom on. We'll meet in the bed, we'll get it over with. Right, Drew?
Very romantic, Mr. Carolla. Isn't he something?
Yeah.
But I hate when these so-called sex experts try to turn everything into some kind of foreplay. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Well, you can remove her prosthetic limb in a very amorous way. It's like, no, let her take it off. And I can turn everything into foreplay. We'll be back. Relish this for a second.
It sounds normal again.
Yes. Alyson Hannigan is here. I don't know why I'm still saying 90210. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That music kind of sounds.
Is it back? We're not out of the woods completely with this mic problem, are we?
No.
Tuesday, 8 o'clock, and Monday at 8 o'clock, too, while they're...
I actually think it's Monday at 9 now. I don't know how long that's going to last.
Okay. All right, so if you tuned in at 8, you'd just catch Hanging with Mr. Cooper or something, and then... I'm guessing a very special episode. Her Nick Farino.
It's, I think, Seventh Heaven.
Seventh Heaven. Mm-hmm. Is that family?
Yes, the preacher family.
Oh, is that what the deal is? Man, it was fun to... I should have guessed that by the title. I got to start paying closer attention. Oh, wait till the new fall lineup comes out. Oh, am I going to have fun with that? I am going to have a field day with that. I can't wait to see the new ABC fall lineup. I can't wait to see Fantasy Island and Cupid, everybody. Okay, that's sour grapes. That's true. I had a pilot for ABC, which didn't make it onto the schedule.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What about mid-season?
They're thinking about it, although the censors are having a lot of difficulty with much of the content.
Can you imagine that from Adam?
No, not at all.
Shocking.
It's hard to believe.
Let me say this very quickly to the censors and the networks, you guys. And I said this to Drew off the air, and I know this will be true. Remember what was going on with the American car companies around the mid-'70s? Americans always had the market cornered here. They made their big, fat, inefficient, gas-guzzling, ugly piece of crap cars well into the 70s. And all of a sudden, somewhere in the early 70s, you started seeing these little cars come in, little Hondas, little Datsuns, as they called them at the time, Toyota.
Then suddenly there was a Z car.
And the big car company said, don't pay them any mind. And then the gas crunch came, and they still said, don't worry about them. And they still made their big, crappy, lumbering piles of S, just like the networks do. And see what the Japanese car companies are the equivalent to your Comedy Centrals, and your Foxes and your WBs, where you can find Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and all these other stations starting to come up. But don't worry, the big arrogant American car companies, they said, don't worry about it. And
we know how to make cars.
5 years later, they were getting their asses kicked, and they still haven't recovered. This is what's going to happen with you networks if you guys don't smarten up. Idiots. All right. Paul, you're 18.
Hi.
Everything's painful now.
Go ahead. What's up?
What's going on? Thank God there's only 15 minutes of the show left.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's up?
I got one quick comment on the just the atheism. I have to say I've been through that stage, and it's not that fun, but I don't know. Hopefully you'll get through it too. But anyway.
Where'd you find Jesus? In prison?
What?
Where was Jesus when you found him?
Jesus was just right here where you and I are.
Okay, but what'd you have to do? Go through rehab or something first?
A rehab? No.
And nobody finds Jesus unless the wheels fall off the wagon, so what happened?
Oh, well, that's why 99% of the world believes in Jesus, right? Or a God.
Right. But
right?
no, some get indoctrinated into it early on in life, and then others wait for a tragedy later on in life to get into it.
You know, I agree with a lot of the things you're saying. Most of the belief in God comes from fear and nowhere else to look, and you don't want to put all the responsibility on yourself, so you ask God to help you.
Right. Well, what got you into it?
What got me into it?
Yeah.
It's just like everyone else, tragedy. Because no one ever asks for help until
That's what I was saying. What
until they
happened?
need it. Well, I went to a doctor. I went through a phase where I was having panic attacks, like daily at school, and I went through a living hell basically.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was I had a lot of friends that all did drugs.
Were you doing drugs?
I was raised in a strict Catholic home. That's my little brother.
Were you doing drugs?
I think he's outing you.
Okay, hello?
Yeah.
So anyway, I went through that, and
Well, that kid is a pain in the
I
ass.
had to deal with that.
you would love this guy. This guy's the greatest brother you can have.
I would kick his ass up and down the hall.
I do. Don't worry about it.
All right.
But anyway, I went through a lot of crap. Then I started to smoke marijuana with him for about a week, and I actually hallucinated, and I was talking with a priest counselor in my school, and I thought I saw the hand of God, and I flipped out, and then I went to this. They took me to this hospital, and they diagnosed me as manic depressive or whatever.
All right. So be careful, Paul. You've got a serious illness. I mean, that's...
Yeah. Was that Dr. Drew?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I definitely agree with you. It is a serious illness, but the thing I don't agree with the pharmaceutical companies and the psychiatrists about is that it's a
I
permanent.
think he's on a pirate ship or something.
Paul, unless it was induced by the drugs you were using, it's not something for you to decide to believe or not to believe. It just happens to be a fact.
And let me tell you about God.
Yeah, that may be.
God invented the pharmaceutical companies and the scientists who work for them, right, Drew? That's just you know what I mean? It's just one step removed.
It's not useful to get in these big arguments and stuff, but that's the fact. I mean, this is just the way this condition is.
Yeah.
And if indeed God could take it away, it wouldn't exist in all the millions of people that have it, because many of them ask for God to take it away, and he can't.
Now, what would you say to somebody who says, well, I know I need help, but I'm afraid to, find it because if they can't fix me, I don't want to know.
Eventually, they get sick enough that they have to get help.
So you really can't talk. I mean, they have to do it for themselves.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Paul?
Yeah.
Did you take care of that brother of yours?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's Beelzebub, that kid.
What's that?
Okay. So are you all right now?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah, my mom just came out and she had a trip.
Okay, take care of her. Take care of yourself. If you need the pharmaceuticals, take those.
Well, anyway, what I wanted to say to Dr. Drew is that about how to find courage. I think definitely a lot of it has to do with the way that what we put in our body. I think that some of the drugs that we use for manic depression are treating the symptoms and not the cause. Because I was totally malnutrition my whole life. And the doctor said that I was, manic depressive. I ate nothing but cold cereal and milk,
Right. Well, listen, I'm with you on this one. I know Drew isn't, but listen, if you got some kid who's having physical problems or emotional problems and he's living off a steady diet of Pepsi and corn dogs, it certainly couldn't help. It couldn't hurt, I should say, to balance the kid's diet out.
Of course.
You do?
Of course. Especially, listen, people with bipolar illness have a very delicate chemistry, and even like a cold can set them off. So, of course, nutrition can really set them off, too.
Kate?
Yeah, hi.
You're 28.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
I'm kind of confused.
Hearing the little girl voice at 28.
Yeah. I'm kind of also nervous about being on the radio. And my voice gets high a little there, but I have a high voice in general.
It's not a high voice. It sounds like a real young voice.
No, keep going.
Okay.
What's going on?
Well, I've been going out with my boyfriend for about a year, and recently I became interested, and I've always thought I was completely heterosexual up till now. I became interested in a woman, and so
how did that happen?
I met her, and we kissed by accident, or I don't know if it's accident. We just kissed.
They fell into each other.
Oh yeah, I tripped over. And
How many guys you kiss by accident, Drew?
oh, it happens all the time.
I put my tongue in Dooley's mouth a couple nights ago because I tripped on a mic cord in there and just sort of landed on his pucker.
And that's funny. Why?
Maybe I should say spontaneously.
Okay. Is this Cyndi Lauper?
Excuse me?
Okay.
Maybe I should say spontaneously.
Right.
And then I started thinking about it, and then I really wanted to try it, experiment with her, and we did, and I loved it. It was really great.
Wait, when do you go gambling? There's not much time left.
How many dollars? I had told you.
Oh, okay.
And
I would bet
I
on
listened to the show and
wholesale chaos, real chaos when she was younger.
Real chaos? Well, I listen to the show, and anytime someone's doing that, it's usually to sabotage a relationship or something.
Yeah.
But that's usually with younger people than me,
Right.
even though they probably sound older.
So you're just like an arrested state?
Yeah, but it just feels like
Okay.
it feels like bisexuality.
All right, maybe that's the angle. Do you have any kids?
No.
Oh, good. Oh, that's good. Why not? You can't have kids?
No, but I'm certainly not going to have them if I'm experimenting with girls. I kind of wait till.
No, but you never got pregnant before?
No way. I use production.
Wow.
Good.
That's an interesting wrinkle. You all right? Is your family okay? Anyone ever do anything weird to you?
No, no, never.
Never. Family's good?
Family's good, yeah. Nice family.
Okay. That's your family?
Yeah, it's my family.
Okay.
It's great.
Sometimes there's confusion.
No,
Talking about a
no
neighbor's
confusion
family
on
or
that.
something like that. All right. Well, it sounds like you're done with this relationship with the guy.
Well, I like him, and I'm more committed to him.
Right.
Yeah, how much commitment can you have if you're cheating on him?
Well, he knows about it.
Oh,
Well, okay.
what does he think?
Nice.
Well, I asked him before I did anything because I didn't want to, if he had a problem with it. He said, well, if it's, if you're having these feelings,
It sounds like you may be lesbian, and you really should.
But I'm more attracted to him. I'm more attracted to men.
All right, but if it's marginal, the relationship's still in trouble.
The relationship is in trouble just by the fact that you're cheating. So something's not right here.
Ask him to put on a wig, and if you like it better.
Yeah, and to shave downstairs.
I just think that she ought to be single right now and be figuring out these.
I'm with you on that.
These feelings.
Nikki's 20. How would a death in the family affect dating?
Hi.
Hey. Well, who died?
My mom passed away.
How long?
When was that?
March of '95.
Okay, it can still affect you,
Yeah.
especially if you haven't sort of done the proper grieving.
I think it's better than Dad dying, though, in terms of your dating.
I had a much better relationship with my mom, and I was closer to her. I lived with her because my parents were divorced. And
Still, it's not good, but for some reason your dad symbolizes, or your relationship symbolized Dad. And when Dad dies, that can be tough.
Well, look, any major
this
loss,
can be tough, too.
Any major loss certainly opens your vulnerability. It makes it difficult to...
This may be worse in general, but not for dating.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's worse overall, but not specific for dating.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Nikki, why, you having trouble?
I've never had a serious relationship, but I was just wondering how it really affects a person's character and personality.
Well, how many years ago?
3 years.
A little over 3.
Well, you were already 17 then. I mean, you're
developed.
Yeah, character construct was pretty much in place. I mean, you sound kind of depressed right now.
No,
You're not depressed?
I was just curious.
You haven't been depressed at all in this
Oh, yeah. I mean, that comes with it. You go up and down, you know.
Yeah, you sound depressed, and it's more depressed than you should be 3 years out from if you were grieving properly. So, I mean, you may just have some difficulty, some abnormal grieving going on here.
Good luck. Carolyn is 15. She had a question for Alyson.
We don't have any time.
I know. She heard a rumor that you're leaving the show after this season. Is that true?
No.
But she was nodding her head yes. You see that true?
I missed that.
Okay.
Not if I can help it.
Okay. Wisdom. Alyson, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock, WB. And Monday nights at 9 o'clock for the time being. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.